Alright, I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration on how to do an Illustrator file ready for the laser cutter for your laser cut marquetry. So you need to open Adobe Illustrator. You can click down into the Windows bar on your taskbar and type in Adobe, and Illustrator should pop up. Click on it, and when it opens you should have this window. You're going to start by clicking Create New. Click Art and Illustration at the top because this defaults the color mode to RGB, which we need to use the laser cutter. We're then going to make the size of our board to the size of the top of our stool. So click the points drop down, then select millimeters, and we're going to change both of these to 280 millimeters. So 280. Then you can click Create, and Illustrator will create your artboard. Okay, once your artboard's created, you're going to go to Google and try and find a design that you're interested in making. For me, I'm going to pick just a random logo that I like. Now when you're selecting an image, photographs and images with gradients, like this one for example, will not work really well. Images that have well-defined edges, like this image, will give you the best result. Generally, the simpler the better as well. Things that are overcomplicated with a lot of parts next to each other can be difficult to put together and may not give you as good a result as something that's just simple. So I'm going to select this logo. I'm going to check the size of the image. So if I mouse over here, it tells me that's 600 by 166 pixels. Something a little bit bigger would probably be better. So here we've got 735 by 435. Or if I click down here, I might be able to find something slightly larger. I'm just going to stick with this one. It should be large enough. And once Illustrator traces it, it will have infinitely better quality. So once you've picked your image, right click and select Open Image in New tab. Then you're going to want to right click on the image, copy image, go back to the Illustrator and press Ctrl+V to paste it into Illustrator. Once you've pasted your image into Illustrator, Illustrator will recognize it as a vector image, which means when I zoom in, it loses quality and becomes pixelated. What we need to do is change it from a raster image, sorry, it's a raster, not a vector. We need to change it to a vector image from it being a raster image. So a raster image is based on pixels, a vector image is based on mathematical functions, and when you zoom in, it doesn't lose quality. So to do that, we go Window and then select the tool called Image Trace. If you've chosen an image like this where it's just black and white, click this button. If you've chosen something that has a few colors, then you need to click this low color button. So I'm going to select the black and white button, and as soon as I select it, you'll now see that when I zoom in, the edges of the TaylorMade logo are no longer pixelated, and it doesn't matter how far I zoom in, it will never lose quality. Okay. If you can notice that there's any rough edges or it hasn't traced the image exactly as you like, you can move this slider here up and down to adjust it slightly, and once you find a spot that you're happy with, simply close this window. Alright, the next step we need to do is delete the background of the logo and set up our cutting operations for the laser. So if you go to the object menu and then select expand, then click OK, it'll break the image up into all of its parts. Now at the moment, the mouse or the cursor that I have, when I click on an image, it allows me to select all of the image. In the top left corner here, there's the normal mouse, which is the cursor that we're using now, and there's the direct selection mouse. If I select that one by left clicking, then click the background of my logo, then the delete key, I'm able to delete the background. I also need to delete the inside of any of the letters. So for example, the inside of the A here on TaylorMade, I need to delete that. So I click on it and delete it. The inside of the O, I need to click on that and delete it. The inside of the A, the D, and the E here, so I need to click and delete, click and delete, click and delete. To zoom in and out, or the way I'm zooming in and out, is you can hold the Alt key on the keyboard and scroll the mouse wheel in and out. As part of the TaylorMade logo here, it's got this little registered trademark symbol in the corner. I don't want that either, so I'm going to click on that and delete that. If there was any other part of the image that I didn't want, say for example I didn't want the Y, I could click on that and delete that too. So this is where you have to edit and delete any of the parts that you no longer want as part of your image. Anything that is really small, like that trademark logo that was in the corner, I would recommend deleting because it'll be difficult to veneer together and you probably won't get a great result. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a circle which is 280 millimeters around my TaylorMade logo, and then I'm going to set up everything ready for the laser cutter. Over here in our tool menu, there is the square tool. If you hold down the left click on your mouse and go to the ellipse, then just click once in the window, it'll present you with a box to enter the dimensions of the ellipse that you want to create. We're wanting to create a circle that's a 280 millimeter radius, so if we, 280 millimeter diameter. So if you type 280 into the width and then 280 into the height and press OK, it's going to give us a large circle that's filled black. If that is the case, over here, each object has what is called a fill and a stroke. The fill is the color that the shape is filled with, in this case black, and the stroke is the outline. I want it to have no fill, so I'm going to click on the fill tile and click none, and I'm going to give it a black stroke just for now until I align everything. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is go back to the direct selection tool and draw a box over all of my components, my image and my circle, or press Ctrl A on the keyboard for all. Then at the top of Illustrator we have this align tool. I'm going to click down and make sure it's on align to artboard, then go middle and vertical align middle, and that will make sure that your image is centered on the artboard and that your image is centered inside the circle. At this point you may want to make your image bigger or smaller. If you click on your image with the normal mouse, the normal cursor, it'll give you some handles you can drag out to make your image larger. If you hold shift while you're changing the size, it will keep the scale of the image so that it doesn't become stretched in one direction. Great, so I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, so the last thing I'll do is just set this up for the laser. So all I'm going to do is hit Control A again for all. Actually, I'm going to center this again, so I'm going to highlight both. Center, center. They're already all selected. I'm going to go over to the fill tile here. I want nothing to have a fill, so I'm going to click no fill. Then I'm going to go to the stroke tile and I'm going to select red. Red is the color that tells our laser to cut. And the last thing I'm going to do is change the point to 0.001 and hit enter. Alright. So now that's ready for the laser cutter. I know you can't see anything because it's made that stroke so small that it's not visible easily, but if you press Control A again, it will select everything and show you that everything's still there. So if you save that now, and I'll get a copy of this file off you to put into the laser cutter to cut out your marquetry. Thanks.